now let's get to name anhydrides. So this is your functional group. And the way we're going to be naming this is recognize it again, the acid it comes from. So this is your, say, your simplest anhydride. And I'm going to draw here what is your parent acid. It is acetic acid. So we're going to draw this. This is like coming from one acetic acid, and this is also that. In fact, you can synthesize this anhydride by heating this up, a lot of acetic acid, and you will do a dehydration. When that happens, you form this. And because it comes from acetic acid in this side and the other side, this is called acetic anhydride. Anhydride. Okay, or you can also say ethanoic anhydride, but more commonly we use acetic. All right, so let's get to the next one. And this, by the way, is a symmetrical anhydride, meaning coming from the same acid. And as I explained, you can make this by doing a dehydration reaction. We also do, to make anhydrides, dehydration reaction using that phosphorus pentaoxide. That's remote dehydration. When you carboxylic acid plus that, you make this. Now, this pH, remember, is a phenyl ring. So this is the same as that. So if your parent acid is, let's draw it over here. That is benzoic acid. So you can say this is like your benzoic acid, but it's also this. So again, another example of a symmetrical anhydride. So you will name this as benzoic anhydride. Well, that's supposed to be an R. Let me write it again. Anhydride. All right. And now, what we see here is now a mixed anhydride. This was symmetrical, this is unsymmetrical. So now we need to identify the acid it comes from. So this part is like that. So it's like coming from acetic acid. The other part is like your benzoic acid. So now the mixed anhydride, we simply list alphabetically. So acetic goes before benzoic, so the name is going to be acetic benzoic anhydride. Okay, now that's for mix, or you can also say ethanoic benzoic. So remember again that you can say acetic acid or ethanoic acid. So ethanoic benzoic anhydride. So you can have both names using common or not. Here what we have another anhydride. Again, that's mixed. Notice that this side is like your acetic acid, the other side is not. So now, let's see. This acetic acid, or let's name it IUPAC, ethanoic acid. And this is 1, 2, and 3. So coming from propanoic acid. So when I name that, let me write the name over there. So it's going to be ethanoic, or acetic if you will. Ethanoic, and then propanoic. But now I add the word anhydride. Okay, now, the last one is we're going to be using a common name, let's say. This actually comes from the dehydration of succinic acid. So I'm going to draw here what is succinic acid. So succinic acid is this. So notice if you dehydrate, so minus water, let's do this, minus water. Succinic acid is here. And upon dehydration, you're going to get succinic anhydride. And succinic acid, it is a dicarboxylic acid that you can also name 1, 2, 3, and 4. This is butane dioic acid. 2-carboxylic acid. Dioic acid. And that is butane dioic anhydride. Butane dianhydride. So this is what it would say, succinic anhydride. Or you can use the IUPAC name. Okay, so again, pay attention whether you have a symmetrical anhydride, then you have only one acid to name. So in this case was benzoic. But if it is a mixed anhydride, then you need to name both acid and list alphabetically. In this case was acidic benzoic, listing alphabetically.